Good morning. Took a couple days off from the gym. Got back to it this morning. Did leg day. It was a struggle. It's always a struggle to get started again when you stop doing something. So I recommend to try to just push through whenever you're supposed to, and then you won't have to restart all the time. I already had my breakfast. Waiting on a delivery of two more solar panels, brackets, and all the hookups that I need to put two more on here. Hopefully that'll take care of the power issues so that I have enough coming in to run the electrical devices I use, as well as to recharge the battery. Now, I've been seeing a lot of videos about these shots and their side effects, and people getting, heart attacks and all this other stuff. One thing I have to say about that is even mainstream medications that are out there have side effects, and they're still being used because people view the side effects as less dangerous than the actual illness. So these shots came out in a state of emergency when they weren't completely FDA approved. So there was going to be side effects. And it was a personal choice of each person, and I don't fault them for that. What I do have a problem with is the shaming that went on for the people who didn't want to get the shots, and the browbeating, and you're a grandmother killer and everything like that. And now that all the side effects that are coming out when all these people, were trying to explain is like, I'm afraid of the side effects that we don't know about yet. That's why I don't want to take the shot. I'm healthy as it is. I have a good chance of surviving it, was a lot of people's arguments. But that argument wasn't good enough for people because they viewed it as they were putting everybody else's life in danger. When I can understand that statement, but at the same time, it's each person's right to live their life and to control their body the way they want. Whether it is women with their bodies, they have the right to decide what they want. It should be the same thing for everybody. It's like medical treatments should never be forced upon anybody. It should be a choice. Now, if there were, ramifications such as, you're going to have to stay away from people. Now, a lot of people lost their jobs and got fired because of these decisions not to take the shots. And in some places, they're being rehired, and the court's mandating reinstatement with back pay, which I think is perfectly reasonable. Sometimes you get it wrong, guys. Like, you're still pushing the shot. I understand that. But there's a certain point when you have to say, take it back to the drawing board and reanalyze what's going on here. Is the shot more helpful than the side effects? Are more people going to die from the shot than saved from the shot? I don't know. I quit my job. I sold my house, sold off everything I have, basically. I bought a cheap used RV, which, it's going to have problems. I'm fixing things. My water heater doesn't work. My heater doesn't work. And I drove all the way down to Georgia. So I'm just kind of sticking to myself for my own reasons. Nothing to do with what's going on in the economy or the world, but it does have a part of it. I don't trust what's going on. There's too much civil unrest. Everything's getting thrown in the news. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a nut. I literally just want to be separated from all the craziness until it dies down. Everything in the news, repetitive. It's always negative. It's always bad. And I always tell people, it's like, if you want to be happy, don't watch the news. Make your own decisions. Make your own research. Now, you can go on the internet and research things. Doesn't mean that what's on the internet is correct. Do you know what I mean? When things are posted on Facebook, doesn't mean it's correct. These fact checkers came out. Who knows if the fact checkers are correct? Make your own informed decisions. You have to go to a library, look things up, or just do it an old way. Talk to people who've been through things. Talk to each other. Communicate. Share your stories. Share your intellect. a person's opinion doesn't mean that you have to follow it. Advice, you don't have to take it, but I always recommend listening to advice because sometimes there's a point of view there that you might not have seen, or it sparks some ideas that you might not have had. Listen to each other, talk, find common ground. That's it. It's not that complicated, but we're making it complicated. We have all these social media platforms to make it easier to communicate with each other. Texting and all this other stuff that came out. What it did do, though, which it was supposed to make it easier to communicate, it's not. It's making it easier for people to argue about things instead of actually just listening. Could be wrong, could be right, could be a little bit of both. You don't have to argue with people, especially on like social media platforms. It's stupid, it's asinine, and a lot of people are doing it because of the fear of confrontation is gone. When you argue with somebody face to face, you might get punched in the face. On these social media platforms, you can just literally be dicks and assholes and spam the shit out of everything. Pardon my language on all this, and have nothing to worry about. What's this person going to do? Block me? That's not going to do anything. Like, think about it. Everybody's got an opinion. Not everybody's opinion's wrong. Sometimes somebody's opinion's right, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go with it. If you choose to deny somebody's opinion, even if they have all the facts correct and everything like that, it's on you. That person shouldn't keep trying to force it down your throat. At a certain point, either that person will wise up or they won't. But the only thing it's going to do is it's going to upset your day if you keep trying to force that person to accept your opinion. If you want to, fine, drive yourself nuts. Personally, I'm not. If I give you my opinion, you don't take it the first time, as far as I'm concerned, truth always comes out. Always does. It doesn't matter whether you want to believe in it or not, but the truth will be there. Like, just try to relax, everybody. Try to understand that what you're doing is you're forcing people. Once you try to back somebody up against a wall, it doesn't matter if your opinion's correct. It doesn't matter if your logic's correct. Once you push somebody, instinctively they're going to push back. Find a better way. Find a common ground. Back off from that person. Relax. Reevaluate the situation. Find out what they're saying before you force everything you're trying to say down their throat. Listen. It's the biggest thing you can do. We learn continuously throughout our lives. Some things that we thought we knew, years later we find out, oh shit, we were wrong. So anyway, sorry about the rant, the tangent, or anything like that. Just going to sit here and wait for my deliveries, and then later I'm going to, put up some solar panels and, cross my fingers that I get everything working the way I want. After that, I got to check the water heater. After that, I'll probably have to put a circuit, a control board in there. And then I got to look at my heater in the RV. It's my fault. I bought something used. First one I looked at, I was in a hurry to get out. Now I got to fix it. But other people told me to do it the other way. I did it my way. I got to deal with it. It doesn't mean, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, I'm sorry that I didn't do it your way. I'm sorry that I didn't spend thousands of dollars and wait extra weeks and months to have somebody else look at it. I was pretty confident in my abilities, and I'm still confident in my abilities that I'll figure it out as I go along, and that's part of life. Have a good day, guys.